Well, I'm Clive Washbourn. I'm a maritime insurer. I was many years in Lloyd's and started my own business 3 years ago at the age of 60. That was totally insane, but it's been a fabulous journey. And I mean, I love gardening, I like history, I like reading, etc. But racing, it's so exciting. You get up in the morning and you think, oh, God, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Go to Cologne, take the German money, go to Royal Ascot. Oh, it's brilliant. I love it. I'll be honest. It gives a purpose to my life. They are beautiful creatures. That's me. Horses, love them.
In the white and blue is Laura Bay. Nilo far up on the outside. Minor is fighting back. Laura Bay in the centre. Forest Hills on the outside. Laura Bay in the white and blue just.
Get in there, my girl. Get in there. I love her. I'm brilliant.
Do you love Newbury, Clive?
I love Newbury. Get in there.
Listen, can you imagine? I'm a little boy that breeds a few horses. This is homebred from the great family that David bought me. And I want to cry, to be honest with you. It's unbelievable.
To me, it's like Zola bending a free kick against Spurs at Stamford. It is this sort of, I'm not allowed, am I allowed to use the word orgasmic? It's brilliant. That's sort of, it's a real buzz. And I really genuinely love it. And what's taken it to a new level now is breeding the odd horse. And one of the first we've bred is the mighty Caius Chorister, who it just gets better and better and better, and is going to run a huge race in the Gold Cup. She's run twice this year. She's been beaten by Coltrane, and then we were beaten by Sweet William at Sandown. None of the commentators have actually cottoned on to the fact that we've been carrying a £3 penalty because of the race we ran back end at St Cloud. So we will absolutely turn form around on both those horses, and both the grounds, it's been good to soft and really quite heavy at Sandown. This horse bounces off good to firm ground, and I would suspect normally at Ascot you're going to get better ground. She's going to take the beating. I've probably been too vocal saying that, but she really will take the beating there. And the idea of breeding a Gold Cup winner is just mind-boggling. Laura's saying, you really will have to calm down in front of the king. I said, you know, I'll get my act together. She just looked at me and went, yes, really. But her mum's coming, who's a great horse racing enthusiast, and her friend is, so we're looking forward to the day.
Honestly, she has to be in with a chance. I mean, she was so close in those last two races. She won't carry a penalty. Obviously, been a Group 1 this time. We didn't know this year whether she stayed or not. It seems she does. Obviously, there's another half mile to go, so best foot forward for her. But yes, I'm confident she will put in a big run. I perhaps won't go as far as Clive, but yes, she'll put in a big run.
I'm a big child at heart. I love dressing up. I've just bought another top hat that was found in America. It's sensational. I do like the Isambard Kingdom Brunel look with hats up here. The royal family being there, the tradition. You know, at times I think about racing and I think about what's going on in the world, and it seems frivolous, but actually we need these points of reference that make us feel comfortable and familiar. And Royal Ascot and the royal family, for me, are part of that. It would mean, honestly, I think I would have died and gone to heaven. Laura's a bit worried that I'm going to have a heart attack.
I like his celebrations. It wouldn't be Clive if he didn't celebrate. So, no, the only thing he's been told is make sure he hands over the top hat before he smashes it up, as in if he's rolling around on the floor. No, I think it shows the passion that he has for racing. The other day, we were at Newbury and Laura Bay won, and he was having quite a big celebration, and there was someone in the crowd who was like, did you have a lot of money on it? He's like, no, I don't back my horses. I had no money on it. It's because I own her and I bred her, and that's where the passion is.
I love Newbury! I love
Clive
Newbury!
is now singing.
Third and first!
Oh, it's very genuine, and it's not just when they win. You know, as long as they put in a good run. So we had a couple of seconds and thirds, and we've been just as delighted with those because they've been really good runs and everything. You know, you want the horse to run to its best ability.
I know we didn't win, but winter is back. Winter is back. Hello, hello. Winter is back.
Oh, he's always a big personality, yes. But you know, he loves to read. You know, there is quiet time as well. He's the kindest person I think I've ever met. He's a really genuine person in every aspect of his life. He loves people, loves entertaining, but he's just a really, really, really good person. And yeah, we see his friends. Just people want to be around him.
The ambition is this. At one end of the parade ring is a statue of Yates. In 6 years' time, they're going to be making a statue for Caius Chorister. You've got to be oops, sugar. You've got to be ambitious, haven't you? Hello. And of course, here to the right is the mighty Chelsea, the Mecca of the Premiership, Stamford Bridge. Look at this. The greatest club in London and the only one that's won UCL. Jacko boy. Club I've supported since knee high to a grasshopper. Used to go with my father, stand at the T-bar. Chelsea's my tribe and I love it. You know, on a match day and everyone's dressed up and down the pub and everyone has their views and we all argue. Absolutely super. Am I optimistic about what's going on now? The new ownership seems to draw real contradictory, opposed views. I'm actually for understanding them, and that is very, very simply, they run a business, they put an awful lot of money into it, they want to change the way some of these structures and the way football is being run. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. They've actually bought some very, very good players. There's been the odd one where you think it's been rather disappointing, but goodness me, I'll just give you an example, Cole Palmer. I don't think I've seen such a gifted player come into a first team and do what he's done. He's been utterly sensational. And we started, as you know, we started to play better in those last 4 or 5 games. But I'm sorry, I don't think it's anything to do with Poch. I think we're getting through the injuries and the team almost was picking itself. And we're talking about Poch and stupid decisions. Here's one of them. We play really great at home to Everton and we dropped Enzo Fernandez. We play Arsenal, he brings Hernandez back in the team with a groin injury, unbalances the whole midfield, we get spanked 5-0. That was his decision, no one else's. Anyway, the end of Poch is gone, I wish him luck. I don't mind admitting that I sort of suffer a little bit from bipolar, you wouldn't be surprised. And it was late diagnosis, and all through my life, I've compensated it with alcohol and other things. But it's under control, and I love that feeling of euphoria, I do. When I get home and look at the video afterwards, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, you look right, idiot.
White show around about here, hammers going up here, then 1-7, 1-7, 1-7.
200 shows your money!
You've been having a bit of fun with you.
Shows your money!
I think it's pretty common knowledge. I've sort of had a lifetime problem with addictions. And the addictions are to compensate for the bipolar ups and downs. And that's been tough. I don't mind saying I went to rehab. And in the first week, they were going, there are the 5 main addictions. Drink, drugs, gambling, sex, shopping. I went full house. Not funny, not funny. But actually it helped, it gave me, I was at that point really out of control. And it gave me that little bit of sanctuary to get my head together. And in fairness, it really worked. And I'm actually, no, I haven't packed up drinking. And you can see from the racing, I do absolutely like to have a drink. What's lovely about being able to have this interview is that I wanted people to see that I'm not always over-refreshed. There was times where I just think I'd had enough, and I thought this is going to be easy for everyone. But there we go. But we've got through that. Having good people around you, like my mate over there, it's just been brilliant. And love and friendships most important thing, isn't it? You've got support network around you, and if you can keep your head together on a daily basis, you can get through anything, really. I'm so glad you came down, mate. And it's
Thank you
just
for
to go
inviting me.
now. It's been a great pleasure. You've always been a great friend of mine, and just to have you in this is rather good fun.
It's really funny with Clive. The first day we done business together, he actually fired me, and he said to me, "I'm sorry, Jack, I'm sacking you because there's this other guy that's coming." I said, "You're a client I want." He said, "Why is that?" I said, "Because if you have the ability where you can fire someone, you believe in people. Give me 12 months,
And I'll be back.
And I'll be back." And it
Never
went on.
looked
It
back
went on.
since.
We never looked back since. So so I will always be very appreciative. I wouldn't be where I am today without what the support you're giving, the loyalty, and its understanding. And
And you've been brilliantly supportive to me, mate.
oh yeah, always.
Yeah. Very.
Love each other.
I know most people buy properties very quickly. It took me 2 seconds because it was outside my budget, and I just got divorced, and the lady said, "Just come and have a look at this. It's been on the market for 15 minutes." And I came out and went, wow. Because as you can see, you can see Battersea Power Station, all the city buildings, the Eye, and the old post office tower. And at night, when you've got the Albert Bridge lit up, Battersea Bridge lit up, it's absolutely magnificent. You know, I'm lucky, aren't I? It's really a really wonderful view. My father was in the Royal Air Force. We were moved all over the place. My dad said, "You've got to get to work," and I got on the tube we lived in a place called Bushy Heath, which is in northwest London, and I got on the tube and got a job in insurance. And at the same time, my sister said, "There's 2 lads," because we'd broken up, the band had broken up with my brother, and me and the drummer who went to school with, Richard Gregory, my sister said, "They're looking for a drummer and bass player." So we met them, and I played with them for about 5 or 6 months in this little dive in Harlesden, and then we sort of drifted apart. That was a mistake, because they were called George Michael and Andy Ridgely, who became the Mighty Wham. And my only claim to fame with them is this: my bass line was turned into Club Tropicana, which went da 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 da. No, that's my bass line. If you're listening to this, Andy. And I think the first time we ever played Careless Whispers together was in that in that practice room. They obviously went on to be superstars and brilliant, and George always was one of the greatest songwriting talent, absolutely brilliant. And he is responsible for probably one of my best blag lines to a woman, sorry Laura, ever. And me and my mate, we picked 2 French girls up, and we were in our suits, and I took them to the WAG Club. And I was telling her that we used to play with the Wham boys, and you could just see them thinking, bullshit, absolutely. That night, George just walked past and went, "Clive, how are you?" You've never seen 2 girls' jaws just drop. And I just whispered to my mate, "I think we're in, son." So what's interesting here, I think, I'm a child. I used to drive that thing, smashed it up, Lambo. This was Buckingham Palace for a charity dinner for a charity that I supported, and there was Mr. Prince Edward there. That was a great night. You don't see a picture of me as a child, do you? Yeah. This is. I did actually run. I ran for a club called Shaftesbury Harriers, and my coach was Bob Parker, who trained David Bedford. You probably can't remember Bedford. Bedford held about 10 world records at one stage. Never won the gold medal at the Olympics, which is really sad. So look, it's hair, which is extraordinary, isn't it? So I went to this little school up in Huntingdonshire, or Cambridgeshire as it's now called, Kimbolton, and had a great time. What else? My father, grandfather and great-grandfather all grew up in Plymouth, and that's where my lovely horse Devil's Point gets his name. It's where we used to go swimming all together, just at the mouth of the Tamar before it comes down to the dockyard. I'd always liked ships, you know, and Plymouth is one of the most beautiful harbours in the world. And if you go up onto the Hoe, the view as the ships come in, as they meander down the channel, is awe-inspiring and very beautiful place. My old boss, Andrew Beasley, said one thing, and I think it is so right. Always employ people that are better than you. And guess what? You then can chill out, you can delegate, and the business is always going to be better. And so that business is now called Navium, which is ancient Greek for of ships. And we built it into one of the biggest in the world. Yeah, I've loved my career. And I think if anyone's watching this who's thinking about not sure what they want to do, I think the London market, specialty market, and especially maritime, is generally interesting, really generally interesting. We're lucky, we get entertained all the time. I travel the world, I meet very interesting people, and that's why I'm fascinated by it. I think it's another obsession and another addiction. Whoa. But what's really interesting is the river drops so deeply, and you have these different sort of scenes to look at. You know, this is quite low now, and you get lots of birds here, which are terrific. We even see seals in the river, Jack, here, this far up. See that heron?
Huh? Yeah.
Look at that heron.
We should name our horse Heron.
Heron. He looks like a predator, doesn't he? And these seagulls, they're so clever. If I got some bread left over and it's high water, I'll put some bread out from the balcony, and I don't know if they've got a sixth sense. Suddenly, 100 seagulls just arrive, and they sit quite often on these barges. I can really, really suggest owning a horse. It is such a buzz, and it doesn't matter whether it's, you know, Ripon or Redcar or wherever, it's still brilliant. And that's the thing I love most about British racing, is all the different race courses have their own different character, and it's just great fun. I basically think I've had a winner in all but 3 or 4 courses, and guess what? I still haven't had a winner at Ascot. So, yet. I think I've been very lucky, but also I have gone about it in quite a strategic way. I actually believe I got some brilliant trainers, and that's important. You've got to give them good horses to work with, and I've got a genius of a pedigree man called Will Brain, and he's an absolute genius. And when we go to buy a horse or to breed a horse, we go about it quite analytically. I know some other people do, but they still seem to produce sort of slow horses. If you think of the small pool of horses I've got, there's about 4 or 5 black type. Now that's not by luck. I sort of remember what my grandma used to say. I think counting your blessings is really important. So look, I'm eternally grateful to have a job that allows me to be in racing. I love racing, I love the characters, and it's just good fun.
Caius Chorister now quickens on by 3 lengths. Royal Mila comes down the outside, but Caius Chorister, great ride from Oisin Murphy, has won it by 5.
The Keys has murdered them. We love it. We love racing. Vive the Republic!
The balance has been flicking too much onto the enjoyment side. Laura's laughing at me. I think by having time to go racing and travel and stuff, I'm keeping my head together, and I really have to have the balance. I mean, I know people, although I mention their names, are just so driven that all they're interested in is the job and the work and the drive. I've got a happy balance now, where I love the work, but I also like my time off. And grand plans, yes. Stud farm, breed our own, want to breed more of the horses. We've got 2 very nice homebreds at the moment, and there's more to come. Keep enjoying life, I think. I've never felt, I'm actually mentally, I'm in a really good place at the moment, and you know, for me, it can go up and down, but at the moment it's brilliant.